Has this ever happened to you? What about this? As gamers, these sorts of things happen all the time, which is why we made LCS Challengers League emotes. Impress your friends. Stop sucking. Make better choices.
Since subscribing to LCS Challengers, my confidence has never been higher.
And with 3 easy clicks, yours can too! Plus, you'll be directly supporting the players in the league.
So what are you waiting for? Come join us!
Hello,
Take no
hello, and
responsibility.
welcome back in. We're here for the Rally Cry halftime show. We're going to completely ignore what just happened on there. We are going to ask you all to subscribe to the channel here at LCS_Challengers and also at Path to LCS if you can. Gets cool emotes for you for your social interactions.
Yeah,
is
you know,
that?
you can talk emotes with your friends. That's how it goes.
And you can support
Don't
the
look at me like
players.
that.
Guys, remember the players?
I like that part. I like that part. Let's
Yeah,
support the players.
support the
That's the
players.
good
True.
part.
50%
Yeah.
Well, no,
of
but
all
that's the thing, is that
revenue.
it's not just supporting the players, right? No, it's
Okay,
kind of like a
sure.
lifestyle brand. That's kind of what the emotes are.
Oh, we're selling a lifestyle. I
You're
understand.
getting me off of it. Let's go back to what Beat was saying about supporting the players. I like that better. That gets me more on board with wanting to subscribe to these.
Yeah, fair enough.
Not what you're saying, Steve. Whatever it is. Lifestyle.
I mean, I was kind of into it, Steve. I liked it.
I can't promise you LP gains, though, unfortunately.
Okay,
That's
well,
a
He
lot.
can't
he
even
can-
gain LP for himself.
That
so,
is
you know.
factual. All right.
Pete, what's your rank again?
Hey, relax. We're the same tier, bro.
Steve acting like he's better than Beat and be like, oh, what's your rank? It's like
1v1
same
me.
tier.
Let's go.
Oh, I will. I'll actually do it.
Ooh, that'd be
You know what? Well, why don't we 1v1 in the halftime show
Okay,
instead?
okay,
Because
I gotta win this one.
I have a bunch of questions about the players that we have in the series as well as the teams. Plus, I also have drawn things
Trivia.
on the board here. As
course
you
you
can see,
have.
not just the logos, but I have things behind here that we will reveal in just due time. But first, let's ask a couple questions that should be easy give-me points for you both. Ready? Mm-hmm. All right. So who had the highest average KDA before today of the players in the series?
Highest average KDA?
Yeah.
Spyrax.
I would guess probably. Well,
Got
he had the
5,
one
4.
really great
3,
game, but
2,
overall it hasn't been
1.
incredible.
So you gotta
I'm
guess
gonna
now.
Will.
Well, you're both wrong. It is Winsome. Winsome had a 4.3 actually. So yeah,
That's the highest average?
yeah, of the players in this series.
Oh,
highest
okay,
average,
okay.
The highest average, I think actually is only at a 5.4, and I believe that was Era.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's not as high as you think, but you have to also imagine how many games have been played so far. So that is going to kind of make things a little bit wonky. But here's a fun one: who had the highest kill percentage, participation percentage before today?
Before today.
Highest kill. So
Will.
generally those are junglers.
Yeah, it was Will.
I'm gonna go Will. It wasn't Will last time. I'm gonna double down.
All right, so doubling down with Will. Well, it does pay off this time. It was Will.
I
at,
saw that stat today.
Yeah, at 79%, and he was the highest in general of all players in the league. So
Nice.
that's a fun one. Well, who's second then
In this game,
in this series? Yeah.
Winsome.
Five,
No.
Yuji.
Breezy.
Two.
Breezy.
1. Steve is right. It is
Oh.
Breezy, and Breezy was just second place, tied with Zazel. And
Nice.
Winsome.
My mind blanked, and I said the wrong support, but I was like, usually the support of the jungler with the highest KP is probably going to help
you know,
us a high KP.
And also, you have to remember that
thinking.
Breezy and Will play a lot around each other. And
True.
oftentimes, you see Breezy tag teaming with Will. So that is why I wanted to have that. But Winsome actually is very close behind you. So if Breezy's at 77.6%, Winsome is at 77.3%.
Oh, wow.
3%
Yeah, I knew that.
difference. That's how close those two are.
Totally came.
My brain, it was like, I knew they were right there, so I just, yeah.
All right, now I'm going to show you a play on the back here. So let's start off with the AOE play. You have to tell first one to tell me what play this is. Gets the point. Are you ready?
Okay.
He looks so serious.
Why
when
is he
said
looking
that.
at us like that? I don't
I
like
know.
it.
Oh,
I get him Masu through the
dredge
wall.
line through the wall. Dredge line through the wall.
Steve got it.
I said the ability name though.
It doesn't
You're
matter.
a play-by-play
The poop
caster.
emoji.
You're supposed to play. You're supposed to care about these things.
Don't.
Why is there the poop
I'll remember that
emoji?
next time you cast.
So, hook around the tree.
That was not
Close.
around the tree, Magical. Let's say it as it is. That was,
through the tree.
Something's going. Can somebody call Freak? We need an investigation.
I legally have to say around the tree so that I don't get in trouble.
Is Freak in your house right now?
You're not going to answer that. So, going on to the next question. So, yes, Steve gets that one, which puts Steve at 3-1 beat. You are falling behind right now.
Beat
What is
down.
going,
Beat
what
down.
is going
Beat down.
on right
Beat
now?
down.
He's cheating.
Remember to tell your children.
All right. Now, which team has a higher tower diff at 15?
FlyQuest.
Oh, I have no idea. This is a 50-50. You said FlyQuest. I'm just gonna go FlyQuest then. Yeah, sure.
No, I'm not going to give you the point because you're just guessing what he guessed. So only the point goes to Beat down for this one. Beat does get it right.
Okay. All right.
Steve, I will let you have this point if you can guess the decimal that it's at.
Like kind of like the
0 and
KDAs that
1.
we did before.
Between 0 and 1, point blank.
Oh. Wait, this was how many first turrets I get?
Yeah. You got 5 seconds. 4,
0.7.
2. All right. Well, you don't get the point then. It's 0.4. And they are the highest in the league, actually. So it's 0.4. Yeah. There you go. So, Steve, no point for you. That means it's 3-2. You still are in the lead, though. You still are in the lead.
We're
here's
breaking
a good
down
one.
the barriers.
Here's a good one. Who has more dragons per game?
AOE.
AOE Gold.
So, because Beat said it first, I'm going to give Beat the point. But, Steve, I will let you have the point again if you can guess
Oh, we don't.
How
This
much
is what I do, bro. Every day.
to the closest
God.
0.5 dragons per game that AOE has.
Yeah, close to 0.5.
let's
Don't think about it
go
too much. Just say a number.
3.
Yeah. There you go. 3.
3.
All right.
So 3.0 is what you're guessing?
3.0. That's a lot. That's a big number. It's
That's a
probably
big number.
2.5.
It's a lot of money.
It's 2.5.
Oh,
So no point.
wow.
No point for Steve. Gets it wrong. And just a fun fact, AOE actually has the lowest Rift Heralds per game because they have the highest dragons per game of any team. And there's per game is at 0.67 Rift Heralds per game. So that's a fun little stat for you. Now, let's go with we're going to do one more question here, and then I'm going to reveal on the board the next part. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. So which team has a faster average game time?
Ooh,
FlyQuest.
AOE.
Oh, wait. FlyQuest is like the slowest game. Yeah, it's
You guessed it,
definitely
you guessed
AOE.
it too late.
Ah.
So wait. So, Steve, you said FlyQuest or AOE?
I would like to change to AOE, but I said FlyQuest. So if you're gonna say first answer has to be the answer.
First answer has to be it. But Steve, this time it benefits you because it is FlyQuest Challengers.
Wow.
They have the fastest in the league, actually.
I really also thought
they were
their
the
games
slowest
were
in
so
the league.
slow.
Wow, I had my
No,
stats way
no.
off.
They're at an average of 28 minutes and 21 seconds, the fastest by a couple seconds.
So let's add it up. I'm blind. I'm deaf. I can't read. Well, I guess that makes sense. given-
But at least you got the
blind
point there.
thing.
So it is 4-3 Steve's lead as we go over back to the board.
I can't believe I'm losing to a blind deaf guy.
Yeah. So remember, first one
I'm
to
just
guess the
accidentally
play
getting these points.
gets this point. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, so it's Tom Kench Devour. Oh, he eats the tree. He eats Yuji. He saves Yuji with Devour, and then that's the one that Masu takes the 1v1 against the Lynx and wins that, even though he doesn't have the Tom Kench Devour.
Why
to keep alive.
you
Yeah,
doing
why are you
the
going?
most?
You're going. You should have
Masu.
just stopped while you were ahead.
Yeah,
'Cause
dude.
Both of you get the point. You said it at the same time.
What do you mean?
So yeah, you both get it. So that's a point to each of you. 5-4 is Steve's lead at the moment. But
For now.
for now, we have time for just a couple more questions.
Okay.
So, who in this series has the best CS diff at 15?
Overall, or you mean like not including today, right?
Not including today.
Not including today.
5
Is it
seconds.
Masu.
4, 3,
Lynx.
2, 1. Well, you're both wrong. It's Acadian.
not
He's
in
a
this
coach.
league. That's
He's a
cool.
He's a coach.
He's a coach. Counts, and he played.
No, but he's not in this series.
He's not. Yeah.
Point to
Yeah,
him on
he's
the
He's
rift.
not
coaching-
playing
he's
in this
Point,
series.
point to him on the rift,
Now,
Magical.
did I say who is playing in the series?
Pretty sure you
I
did.
did not. I said who in this series.
It's the same
Beat down.
thing.
Can we just agree?
It's
Hey,
not.
beat down.
Yeah.
Beat down. You're
What's up, what's up?
you're right below me right now.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
we agree?
It also doesn't
that we
change
just,
a single thing,
you know,
because you'll both
he's
still
over
be
this
a
way.
point
Can we
apart.
agree to just screw this guy and we'll just share a tie? I'm down to shake
that
on
means that beat wins the whole day.
I'm cool with that.
it. I don't know. As long as it screws with you. All right, boom.
It
There
doesn't,
we go.
I mean, it doesn't screw with me. You still lose, Steve.
I don't care.
All right. Well, last question.
I know if I play in a
Actually-
magical game show, I'm gonna lose.
Last question. I'm going to ask you, and you guys can contemplate it while the series is going on. Who has the most solo kills in this series? That is going to be the question I'll leave you on. You'll have to figure out the answer while the series is going, because we are ready for our final game of the day between FlyQuest Challengers and AOE Gold. Both of you get us in the game, and congratulations, Beatdown. You won the whole day.
Woo!
It's
I'm gonna
concept.
tell my
by
kids
the
about
way.
this one.
It's concept. Magical never said we couldn't have the stats up on our screen while we were doing the game. So
Concept
I've
has
just
the
been
most
reading
solo
off
kills
of
in
it.
this lobby.
Huh?
Are you saying Concept has the most solo kills in this lobby?
He does. He's at 10 right now. Yeah. Robbie
Not on my
Bob,
bingo
Onad,
card.
AP, Niall, Shochi, Lunasia, Bradley, Quacker, Zamudo ahead. There's actually a tie at 18 between Zamudo and Quacker. The rookie top laners coming in here hot, but
Love that. That's pretty cool. But all right. I mean, shout out to Concept. Shout out to Steve for paying attention to the wording of what Magical was saying. Good stuff.
I didn't pay attention to the wording though.
You did? Yeah, you did. Because
When?
he didn't say you couldn't have the wiki open.
Yes, that part.
Exactly. Oh, I
We're
got
also
you,
going to add
bro.
low IQ to my list of allocations today so far.
It's okay then.
been
At
a
least you're
long
beating
one.
that one.
It's been a long one. All right, AOE versus FlyQuest for game 2 of this series and the final game
Yeah.
of day 1 for week 5 here.
Yes.
This is, again, Standy's implications. FlyQuest have a chance to jump up right now. AOE,
They do.
we said going into this one, they're going to be happy with one win. They have this team and then Team Liquid Honda Challengers, and then everybody else are teams within punching distance of them in the standings right now.
Yeah.
So if they can even get a single win, they're feeling great about their chances of avoiding that relegation's bottom 2. FlyQuest, if they win this one, they're going to be joining Wildcard Disguised up in that conversation. It's going to be a 3-way tie for second place. That's going to be crazy.
And they're not going to be that far from Team Liquid Challengers anymore because of, I mean, what their last weekend, what happened today. Standings are really shaking up at every level at this point. And it is important, yeah, for AOE to avoid relegation, to avoid potential relegation, to make it into playoffs, that they get every win that they can. But FlyQuest, it is pretty cool for them to be able to get a win like this in a pretty solid fashion, I gotta say, even though AOE kind of stopped playing after a little bit.
I like how you
I
put
stand
that.
by
yeah.
that. It just
Somebody
like,
check in the keyboards, see if the plugs are still there.
everything cool? Quick, I don't know, ping check or whatever, something.
All right, I'm bringing up ping around FlyQuest fans.
Oh, you're
I'm
right,
just
my
gonna tell you
bad.
about Masu's Wi-Fi
It's a jump
experience.
scare.
Yeah. All right, AOE, they lock in the Maokai on blue 1. Nothing too crazy. Iron did make it through, though. The FlyQuest are able to take that one. We got the Battle of the Trees, and then Ezreal for Lynx.
That's something as Lynx plays a decent bit. It's interesting to see that he is going in for that one blind, especially because FlyQuest could go for more tanky route. Ezreal struggles into tanks, but we'll see. They feel confident about that one. So looking at the Ivern, it is interesting because Ivern gets nerfed this patch. A couple nerfs to Daisy. I think he gets actually more damage to allies who are inside his brushes. But overall, he does seem a little weaker. I think what's still good about Ivern, I mean, one, the ability to make brushes, how strong Daisy is overall is not negated by those changes. So Yuji's probably still going to have a good time.
If I'm AOE, I'm on the Ivern train. I'm banning away Alistair right now. First off, it counters the Rel, but
Yeah.
also it's very solid with the brushes because you can just kind of sit in a brush that Ivern sets up in lane, and it's impossible for anybody to walk up to the brush.
Kangas, this is probably Ezreal mid. I just remembered. Darkwings literally did this last week. It is a thing. And it is a thing that he played into Azir against Evil Genius Challengers. So, it's something to be thinking
And it's a good
about.
point that you bring that up, because FlyQuest also believed that banning away the Ziggs, which is what Lynx would pilot if they had an AD in the mid lane. AOE are on the same page as me banning away the Alistar, so look at that. The draft is coming together nicely.
Beating the low IQ allegations. I'm so proud of you. And FlyQuest looking
If it's
to
about
pick
support matchups, I can talk about it, man.
True. I mean, FlyQuest, the only thing they're really missing is another kind of late game carry, and Masu going back on the Aphelios, I think would be just fine. Him and Spirax, they had a good game one. They put out a lot of damage in the late game. Masu especially. So at this point, you're just giving Faisal that last pick onto the top side. He was a big point of power in that last game, so I like that now that sides have swapped. They're going to give him that opportunity to be another big point of power.
Lynx hovering the Kai'Sa, meanwhile. Wouldn't surprise me to see that locked in. Otherwise, Varus would be the other option, I suppose. But no, they do want the Kai'Sa. And follow up on the engage. And you're right, Beatdown. It's going to be the Ezreal. Well, I guess they could be
We don't really
flexible.
know. It could be either one, and we'll see.
But based on what they played last time, you highlighted that Darkwings has played the Ezreal into the Azir. We're assuming that that will be the lane assignment. So now they have to lock in a top laner. Blind pick. Renekton's available, but they're not going to go, or rather not blind pick. It is actually into the K'Sante, now that I see. So this is their answer. To
Oh,
the
yeah,
K'Sante.
I trolled you on that one. I'm so sorry. The last pick is actually going over to Winsome, and it could very well just be the Renata could come through. Another answer that's been pretty common, but instead, Winsome, he's hovered the Leona. He played that one last week. It is very aggressive. They would rather just fully commit to the front to back that they have.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's non-committal engage as opposed to the Rel, who has to put herself in harm's way to go for those engages. That's like
Leona,
the
she's gotta
coolest
go in
thing that
there.
Leona's got. Wait, what was that? What this was
No,
like?
I was gonna. You said non-committal. I mean, like Leona, like she goes in there, you know, throws the Zenith Blade, and then.
Well, but the solar flare, the ultimate.
Oh, right, yeah, okay. I'll give you that one.
Again, I could talk about supports all day. This is my thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're right. My bad. I will defer to you from now on every time when we talk about the bot lane. Don't worry.
Never question a gold support main when he's on
Who
broadcast.
only plays
It's the only thing
Pantheon.
I can get in depth about.
Fair enough. I won't take that niche away from you. So FlyQuest, late game, front to back. Same old song and dance from game one. If it worked so nice, you might as well try it twice. AoEs is a little more interesting because you have the Ezreal mid, which is a thing, which I'm not sure how that really works out, Kangas. Overall, you have a lot of scaling tools on your side of AoE as well. And I think it's a little more late game oriented across the board.
We'll see if it reverses their fortunes from game one. They're trying to differentiate themselves from the bottom of the pack, only a game or two ahead of the teams that are in the relegation conversation right now. FlyQuest, meanwhile, they're motivated to make it to the top of the standings. Get a win here, you're tied for second place going in to tomorrow. That would do wonders for their morale, wonders for their chances, as they would get a higher seed going into playoffs. It's crazy to think we're already in week 5.
Yeah.
This split has been going by fast.
Time has certainly been zooming, Kangas. And we'll see as the time goes on here in this game one. Terrible segue, but you know, we keep it pushing. Spam in chat who you think is going to win. Everyone thinks it's AoE.
There's a lot of AoE.
Which is kind of crazy considering everyone said FlyQuest last game, but it's populating. Everyone's coming
The FlyQuest fans have gotten their snacks
They
and
have
arrived
entered the
back at
chat.
their computers, and now they are putting in their votes.
Yes. All right, Kangas. Keeping my
Yes.
promise. Talk to me about bot lane. Let's go.
Oh, I get to talk about bot lane.
Yes, please go.
Okay, fun. So,
I was going to say you to start.
I don't know how New Rel interacts with Leona.
But
But these are both engaged supports, obviously, that are both going to be very tanky. Expect them to be the ones that are making the action happen for each of their teams. But with that said, unlikely we see aggression as much from the FlyQuest side. It's harder. Oh, wait, no. What am I talking about? It's the Kai'Sa in the bot lane, not the Ezreal. Again, long day. Maybe I should have made more coffee.
you're
this
doing
morning.
great, buddy. It's okay.
Yeah, you asked me a question, I just immediately choke up. I'm just floundering right now.
I know. I have that effect on people. People get nervous. It's okay.
Yeah, you can't
I
throw out the Rizzler moves on me live on broadcast.
You're right. Okay, so I'm gonna give you my guess as to how this interaction goes as far as supports are, and it's that Breezy is gonna all in Masu, Winsome is gonna all in Lynx, and that's they're just gonna ult each other. They're gonna all in each other's 80 carries in the lane.
Whoever gets on top of the enemy 80 carry first should be advantage to that, but even with that said, like, I was alluding to before, that doesn't mean that they have to. I could see a world where they do play a very safe bot lane, and these are just supports that are locked in to make plays elsewhere on the map. But speaking of plays, Will looking at the top lane. Lizel has flash, will not even need to use it, as Will does not want to commit the twisted advance.
Yeah, and it's looking like we have a bit of an exchange on sides of the map here. You saw the immediate 3 camp onto the top side there. So Yuji, actually, they basically split map, created a lot of camps. But what I'm looking at is that Will spends a lot of time here on this top side. He is not behind yet, but Yuji has already prepped a good amount of his camps there on that top side. So he's about to catch up and surpass Will in farm pretty quickly. It doesn't mean that he's going to be able to
This
reset.
is the second time being down here, by the way, because went down to prep them initially.
Exactly.
Was in the tri-bush, thinking about maybe affecting the bot lane, didn't do so. And then with Will showing top lane, it just means that Yuji can actually take away that camp. It's on to Breezy here, who now looks for his own engage. Links damage from across the wall. Buying time for Will to join up. Yuji's going to be the target here. Lower on the health bar, but they cannot claim the Ivern. There's no camps for Will to invade on. Actually, wait, okay, there's one.
There is, but, you know, all Yuji has to do is just press the button.
There we go.
And that's it. Level 4, full clear is done. I will say, Will being able to get the double camp, or rather the double crab coming through, is a point in his favor. But wow, Will is he's just ignoring farm. And he's just consistently going for the invade, pressuring laners, seeing whatever space he can buy, and he's just gonna go for these respawn raptors. We see Will do this sometimes, where he just forgoes all natural pathing, all normalcy as far as early game junglers go, and he just starts ganking all over the place.
That's the thing about Ivern, is that there's nothing normal about this champion's jungle pathing, so you can kind of do this against the Ivern, as it takes this champion time to prep the camp before he can actually take it. Big windows to get involved in that, as, again, Yuji will approach this Scuttle Crab. Doesn't have a lot of backup, and now Winsome's actually around the area. The support has gotten onto the Rift. Let's see if AOE spot that out. Ooh, Zenith played in onto the mid laner. Darkwings has to Arcane Shift away, but is just fine.
Well, Darkwings did just TP back to this lane, so losing most of his health, getting this wave in will give Spyrax an opportunity to just get a free recall off. There's a chance he may not even have to use his teleport in the process. Would be a big advantage that he could maintain over Darkwings here. But now both junglers looking like they've gone back to their respective jungles. So no more cross maps, no more anything confusing along those lines. But no team really doing very much of anything. No one's going for that first Drake. I'm imagining there's an opening for AOE to do it since FlyQuest bot lane has back. Will is still only just pathing in that direction, so things are chill.
Another Zenith play lands from Winsome. Has flash available. Darkwings has to use it. Flash forward. One final auto, and Yuji grabs first blood.
And all it cost was Spyrax's flash. That's a big pickup coming through here, and now Spyrax is going to tick over to level 6. This is Zir. We talk about how strong he's going to be in those later stages of the game, Kangas. It feels so good when you get to accelerate to that point.
The Ivern will be building support, but the faster you get to that support item, the faster you can support your team, am I right?
Yeah, exactly. Wow, speaking of supporting your team, you see with that vision toggle, everyone is looking for Darkwings. And I like the call. You punish the fact that this Ezreal does not have flash. You want to make Darkwing's life very difficult. And they've done a pretty good job of that as we hover over his corpse.
Wait, is he building into a static shiv? Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
They can finally focus down here by AOE. They will claim it for themselves, but I guess I don't know what the mid lane Ezreal build is these days.
It is static shiv. It is static shiv. The item is good on people, again, like if you benefit from all of the stats, like AD carries like Kai'Sa, Ezreal, Varus, things like that, you do want to be building this item. And it's good for wave clear. It will make Ezreal's ability to side lane a little easier, just because of the fact that he will get to limit the amount of time he is in the side lane, being a squishy AD carry.
Fair enough. You can always shove in those waves and then group up with the team again, which is ideally what they'll want to do here. The big beefy front lines of the Maokai with Lorel. Also taking a 1v1 against Spyrax here, jumping in, trading And see Azir as now we finally see Breezy get onto the map, but as he does so, he walks right back away. We highlighted Will and Breezy, two of the highest first blood percentages, but Spyrax looking for his own play onto Darkwing, sidestepping these cues. Mystic Shot's not quite landing. Spyrax has pushed Darkwings into Yuji and will claim the kill.
Yuji, not sure if he really needed to flash, but in the end, you secure a kill, and another one is on its way here, potentially. Oh, yeah.
Yep, flash, concept flashes in response, pulled back, and Faisal grabs the kill.
Faisal already applying so much pressure on this top side. The help of UG manages to get a nice kill over onto Concept. That's 3-0. FlyQuest getting kills, I want to say across the board, but more towards that top side. Your prediction was right, Kangas. The spot lane, very relaxed at the moment. No one's actually going in on anyone. Everyone is just going to continue farming things out.
Oh but my God. As we say it, they go in.
That's crazy.
He has to use the cleanse. Moonlight Vigil onto Breezy. The Rel is very slow, so flashes away. As Lynx tries to pepper as much damage into Masu as possible, does not win that trade.
No, not at all. You get the flash out. Lynx has to cleanse as well. There you go. You see the turnaround. Once level 6 comes through, they know they have the advantage over Breezy. Oh.
Do they want this now? Ooh, Masu's low on mana. Agnes Born's missing. They're on the Lynx. Masu goes down. Winston flashes forward with the auto resets. Can't quite kill Lynx, though. Flash was still available for the Kaisa, and no mana for Xena the Blade. Means that's a double kill to Lynx.
Really nice turn there. Just like Winsome and Masu tried to take advantage of the level 6. With their ult consumed, Breezy and Lynx knew this Rel was about to get access to the Magnet Storm. Got some kills on the board here for AoE, a double for your Kaisa, no less. And it does mean you get a lot more extra pressure on this bottom side. And this is where you see that moment where, okay, they know level 6 is on the way for this Rel.
And I think the big moment was also they identified Masu had very low mana.
Yeah.
And if they just focus everything onto the 80 carry, they will kill that Aphelios. Yeah, well done from Lynx and Breezy, getting the better of Masu and Winsome. That's 2 games in a row now where Lynx has actually had an outplay here. Gets fed yet again, now has that static shift completed.
That's right. Ends up being a big first purchase here for Lynx. Again, double marksman. You're looking for 2 items when you guys really start to come online. When you really start to do some insane amounts of damage. So any way to get there faster is A-OK for AOE, Kangas. As we're a minute 30 from this next Drake, this lead that you have as the bot lane of AOE Gold does mean that you should be able to continue easily dragon stacking and getting towards the soul.
And Lynx winning this matchup 2 games in a row, pretty big for him as a player. I know that he's a player that we've looked at as having a lot of potential even last spring. We thought that AOE overall were looking like a decent team when he was around on the roster, even though they had to go into the relegation tournament last time around. And he's getting the better of Masu, his fellow, kind of rookie, young, newer eyes on 80 carry. These are the types of moments where if you can string together wins like this, you start to build a legacy for yourself here as we are hyping up players in this league. The goal is further leagues down the line in their careers. This is how you start to build those legacies.
And it feels good. And Lynx is a player. Ooh, I mean, you can hold that.
We're going in. Playing around Lynx. It's actually Winsome that tries to dive and engage. Ball time for Faisal to join in. True Shot Barrage will not land. All out. Onto Will. Pulls him back in as Lynx will claim the kill onto Winsome off to the side. Can Lynx get away? Moonlight Vigil from Masu lands. Lynx taking damage. Faisal locks down. Beautiful kiting from Breezy. Oh, but Lynx walks back in into auto range and will fall. Now Spyrax and UG are here to try and jump onto Breezy, who will be killed. Oh, what a strange place to fight. As everybody's diving bot, everyone joins in. We're not even fighting for a dragon or nothing.
And it's even better, Spyrax able to teleport topside to answer the big wave concept stacked in. So FlyQuest not only pick up more kills than AoE in this fight, but they manage to make sure they don't bleed any gold across the map in the process. So Winsome, I really thought he was dead here, but the shield that Faisal gives with the footwork helps him stay alive a little bit longer. And of course, the kidnapping that Cassante does so well forces Will under the turret. Even though a kill is traded back. This is too risky for Lynx. As you can see it, Spyrax is coming on the minimap. Dark Wings is low mana, so the turn was going to be too easy.
He got pulled back by the Cassante. That's why Lynx ended up in that position. Tough when you're the Kai'Sa. Lower range auto attacks mean that you are in the range of Cassante when you are trying to hit him. Now we're back to live concept. So that is ultimate to try and survive Spyrax and Yuji's assault. They have the Daisy though. Daisy can start tanking up the turret. They're just going to commit to the dive. Spyrax doesn't quite have the poke damage. Concept will live.
Even though he walks away, FlyQuest get what they want. First turret gold going over to Yuji and Spyrax. Spyrax on the Azir was one of the champions he played last weekend when he had such a monster performance.
Blade Seeker landed onto Masu. Jinx doesn't want to go in for it though. Will doing a lot of damage to Masu and Winsome just all on his lonesome.
Well, you know how it goes, Kangas.
Turret. Yeah, FlyQuest got the top turret. AOE are just playing heavily to this bot side. They do not want to give any quarter to Masu.
Wow.
They'll dive on him yet again.
Nice.
Winsome goes in with the Zenith Blade, and he's surely going to fall as there's an all-out mid lane. It looks like Faizo got a solo kill onto Dark Wings, but the bot lane is struggling. AOE get another dive.
That's a pretty crazy misstep there from the bottom lane of FlyQuest. Like, you know that a play's being made on the other side. Hold on.
Ooh, Yuji flashing in. Okay.
No way anything comes.
Breezy, not gonna get him.
Yeah. And that's a pretty big misstep. Again, from Masu and Winsome. You know you need to sack that wave because your jungler's so top. He dropped Herald top and gave all that gold over to Spyrax. You just need to back off and not give away too much gold in response. But instead, they step back. They give away a lot back to AOE. The only saving grace is that AOE had low health bars. They need to back before they can take this Drake.
FlyQuest are onto the map. They will take this one for themselves.
Yeah,
let's get a
right
replay here.
And like your jungle and your mid are coming back on the map, but not anytime soon. Look how quickly both Masu and Winsome end up dying in this exchange. Only just now does Yuji show up and is able to do anything. And when I say anything, I mean nothing.
And let's see what happened with Darkwings. Oh, he walks up. Okay, back to live. I guess Darkwing, speaking of, just gets a shutdown onto Spyrax. Must have been a dive or maybe just a pick in the bot lane. Let's see how it's set up, but AOE are right back to an advantage of champions on the Rift currently. Very interesting game state that we find ourselves in here, Beat, as these teams are just throwing everything at each other. Like, what? Breezy's just ulting onto Yuji right now. Lynx will get the kill. Nah, it's Breezy with the credit. Lynx doing the damage, though. I guess we can just invade the Ivern anytime now. He doesn't have a lot of backup.
And it's nice, too, because you have Lynx who can join from a great distance. He actually flashed off screen to get in distance of the Killer Instinct. And that ability to join from so far away, from many screens away, makes it easier for you to go for these invades. All you need is someone to apply CC, then it's easy for him to fly in and help secure these kills. So AOE, they're in this position where even gold game, you're reaching 2 items on Lynx, one of your primary carries. You're feeling really strong on the map at the moment. So you're happy to go for these invades, push these waves, and force Yuji out of his own jungle.
And there's nothing dire that you need to fight for, so ideally Lynx will have that flash up before they have to go for another big fight, another big play. 2 items completed, Static Shiv plus the Nashor's Tooth first, actually, instead of the Rage Blade, which we did see earlier today. It's a slight pivot in the Kai'Sa build.
Just a bit. There's that opportunity to get that Evolved W right away, start spamming that. It gives you a good amount of poke combined with the Ezreal. So I think that pick ends up being fine, and Kai'Sa does great with AP. Yeah. It's FlyQuest.
Also funny, I didn't realize, but I just saw there, Darkwings, the Ezreal Q will proc Static Shiv. Makes sense.
Yeah, his Q is basically an auto attack, so makes a lot of sense. Right now, FlyQuest, sights set on the second Rift Herald. They need ways to get gold back into their pockets here. But yeah, we know this. They're very, again, in a comfortable position to fight. Lynx is almost a whole item ahead of Masu here. You compare what they're both dealing with. And though Masu does have the tier 2 boots on him, Lynx has a lot of stats to play with, is basically the point. So AOE, really strong position. They can kind of throw their weight around a little bit, and FlyQuest, they have to respect that.
And for me in this game for FlyQuest, it's less about Masu as the main character now as it is about Spyrex and Faisal, the solo laners. We've seen Spyrex do crazy things on the Azir last weekend, had a 17-1 game on it. And Faisal as well now stepping up back into a much more confident and carry style than what I've seen in the majority of his games this summer, where he's often playing more back fiddle, more supportive, enabling his team on tanks. I mean, yes, K'Sante still kind of counts in that regard, but is also one of the tanks that he loves the most because he can carry with it.
And Faisal, he had a lot of carry K'Sante games last split. And you were there, Kangas. Again, a big part of Fear and their success in spring was Faisal alongside Trevor. And Masu credits Faisal as a very integral part of FlyQuest's ability to play. And it shows in a lot of the games that you see FlyQuest win. So he has an opportunity this game as well, even though FlyQuest are a little behind. K'Sante is one of those champions where you can make the difference a little bit. You ult, links, you get him over the wall, bring him towards your team, invite him over for a party, some tea, and then you send him to the gray screen.
I don't want to go to that party. That's just...
You see, though, but that's the beauty, Kangas. You don't have a choice. You're
the forced invite.
Yeah.
Like when your mom takes you to a birthday party as a kid, you're like, I'm not even friends with this guy. You're like, yeah, but it's
but you gotta go.
My boss's kid.
Exactly. So you gotta be friends, or family friend, or something.
Yeah. It's your cousin. You're gonna go to their birthday party.
Exactly. And that's FlyQuest in this analogy. They are Lynx's cousins that he doesn't like, and Faisal is trying to bring him to the party.
Well, hopefully they bought presents. We'll see.
Well, we'll see indeed. Right now, it's FlyQuest gonna get a little present of their own. Nice chunk of chain for the turret. Well, AOE is gonna get one for themselves too.
Traded top 4 bot, a little bit faster for AOE here with the Herald charge. They're in the lead, and they don't seem to be giving it up. Props to AOE for the way that they played out the game so far. The bot lane getting so far ahead, even Darkwing's in the mid lane doing all right for himself. And a reminder that the stakes of this game are pretty high. I mean, FlyQuest, this is their opportunity to tie for second place with 2 other teams. It would be Wildcard and Disguised that they joined the ranks of. For AOE, if they win this one, they're differentiating themselves in the bottom of the pack with a much easier strength of schedule going forward for their last 5 series. Grouping up around mid lane, the Dragon has spawned.
Right. I'd argue for AOE, this game is a little more important just because of making playoffs, just because of avoiding a promo relegation tournament. That's why. You said it in that last game, all gas, no brakes. It's AOE. They keep pressing on the gas here, want to maintain this lead they have over FlyQuest, and it continues with them getting their second Drake of the game. It's only halfway to Assault, so I will praise FlyQuest for not fighting for it unnecessarily. There are plenty of teams in this league that would fight for it even though they don't need to, so good job.
And unfortunately, that happens quite often. Where it's like, did you need to walk up? Did you really? But you're right, FlyQuest, they have the patience. As I say that, Winston takes a Zenith Blade over a wall. Wasn't expecting to go that far.
In the wall.
Yeah. Could you imagine if you just bug out, you're stuck in there?
For the whole
There's a little tree stump. You could probably sit in that.
Maybe. The only way you can stun people is if they walk up to that wall.
No, you have to Zenith Blade back out. You need somebody to walk by.
Okay. And then the enemy team is just like, they won't let you out, so they always avoid that spot.
If you're a ref and the teams pause the game for that reason, do you chrono break, or do you just say, hey, can somebody just walk over and let him Zenith Blade out of there?
I mean,
we'll start from there.
I'm going to keep it 100. You know the answer is chrono break.
Yeah, I know the answer.
Okay.
But there's such an easier solution. If you just say, all right, everybody chill. No fighting.
No fighting. No, I think that's too hard to manage, like, as a ref. Think about it. Like, you have to, what are the conditions here? Who walks up? How do we, like, break after they use the Zenith Blade to get out? Did everyone just walk away? Like, you know what I mean?
A lot of time for a hypothetical, but
yeah. Yeah. I'm just trying to indulge you. I'm just trying to yes and my co-caster.
Well, I like to sabotage things. Sometimes it's fun.
Well, so do AOE.
Sabotage. No, they do not pounce on Yuji. I thought that Breezy would want to go in for that. Darkwings can get over the wall.
Oh, they won't.
They're just walking up and clearing out the vision, controlling the approach to the Baron Pit. Winsome will look to contest. He's got Masu in his back pocket. but Masu's trying to dodge out of the Nature's grasp, cannot do so. Winsome flashes away. Restuns up Breezy. Daisy's locking down the Rel even more, but Masu cannot walk forward.
Faisal's here.
Auto attacks in. Faisal can't. Teleport coming in. Masu's got to back off. Everyone from FlyQuest are focused on the teleport. Concept comes in, jumps out. Faisal pulls back 2 members. Darkwing's Arcane shifts to safety and is fine.
So a lot of ults exchanged, a lot of swings made back and forth. But ultimately, no one is going to fall. I will say FlyQuest feeling stronger on the map now that Masu and Spyrax have both crested over that 2-item mark. Big spikes for these carries. And I am expecting to see a big skirmish come through for this next dragon in about 2 minutes time. Or maybe even the Baron. One good pick could turn the tables here, especially with that TP advantage there that Faisal has over Concept. Once Concept shows, you could set up for a play on the other side of the map.
That's what it felt like AOE were prepping for at the beginning of that play. Getting the vision around the Baron. If they find a pick, if they find a member of FlyQuest out of position, they can start up the Baron themselves. They have the double marksman.
Yeah.
And then burn that thing down, but FlyQuest did not overextend. They did not get picked off. They just lose Flash on a Winsome. Now we're back to a state of the lanes being the focus here as everyone's trying to catch these. Faisal pushed out 1, goes for the reset, will come for another. Darkwings pushes out the top wave, and Spyrax will catch up to that one. So with no action looming on the horizon, next would be the Dragon most likely. Gives us more time to talk about Leona clipping into walls. No, I'm just kidding. Past that.
Okay, I hope so. You really scared me there for a second.
No, it's not going to happen. She's fine.
It didn't even happen the first time. Like we were kind of joking.
Perfectly.
Yeah, and this game has no bugs.
Wait, speaking of, what's your favorite bug in the game? Oh!
The mental damage. Inconceivable.
I don't even know if
bug.
Concept wanted that. I don't think he wins if he hits it.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I can't think. I'll get back to you on favorite bug. Right now...
Mine's the Scion bounce. When you're ulting, and you like hit a wall on the side and like...
Oh, and then you can kind of you can do like the hard turns and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of
Or my least favorite, if I'm going that way, it's... I don't know if this is a bug.
My least favorite is not
walls that Bard tries to ult. Actually, we'll get back to that. Nature's Advance comes out. It's taking damage. FlyQuest are going to take a turret. Okay, they got it. Get a little lackadaisical here, but I suppose things are actually happening on the Rift we should talk about.
Yeah, a little bit. You can see FlyQuest trying to clear out vision around this Baron. They have a good amount. Again, Hope, you get that extra damage from the brushes. You have Spyrax and Masu on 2 items who are feeling pretty strong. But it's just a little bit of preliminary vision on this Baron. They're not hard committing on this top side, really on the side of FlyQuest. Their focus seems to be more towards this dragon. They're keeping Faisal, who's just ticked over to level 16 there. And it's just about maintaining pressure on this mid and bot lane so they can collect another Drake. Make sure AOE have to stack for a long time before they actually ever see a Dragon Soul.
It's Luden's Echo Kaisa, by the way. AOE, they see members of FlyQuest mid lane. They'll start up the Baron. FlyQuest will now spot it out. That's teleport coming in from Spyrax and Faisal. Same ward, same place. AOE retreating now as Darkwings has joined in. No fight. Just testing out to see if FlyQuest would answer. And they got 2 teleports out of
Yes! That's huge. FlyQuest really hope to get a fight going after this or something. Otherwise, it's just going to feel like a huge waste because Dragon is up. Because at this point, they've got to start answering waves soon. But they're still hovering. We're still doing this dance back and forth to see if somebody slips up.
Daisy is down. The FlyQuest don't have the big rock monster to fight behind. AOE could maybe just look to start up the Baron again. There's that one pesky control ward in the brush, so AOE have to actually walk up into the brush to clear it. They don't know that it's there. Now they will see it and realize, okay, we're on vision. Only 3 members there. Concept looking for a flank. Breezy looking for a flank. Breezy goes in. Flashes on to Masu.
God.
They got the AD carry. Yuji's in trouble. Masu goes down. And AOE find a slick engage onto FlyQuest backline. Will claim the AD carry. And that is it for now. Turret goes down. Can they get onto the Baron? AOE are focused on this. Ooh, Winsome's got to be careful. Faisal's walking forward. Spyrax is actually full health bar, essentially, but that sapling damage is kind of scary. AOE, they don't have the confidence to keep this going. They actually back off.
No, they would definitely die. They had to use both flashes on their mid and bot lane, and either way, Breezy was the hero here. You couldn't have asked for a better engage. You get it on to the 80 carry. Masu loses basically all his health before he can do anything about it. And all that DPS is out of the picture, means Spyrex can't do any damage, means Faisal has to flash. And despite his best efforts on the back's end, it's just a good fight there for AOE. Even though it doesn't net them the Baron, they spent a lot of gold just now, Kangas, and it means they're gonna get their third Drake here, the Ocean Soul point. It means FlyQuest in 5 minutes, it'll be decision time.
Soul point for AOE. Good news for them, as now they can use that 4th dragon to pull FlyQuest in. FlyQuest did not answer that. Have we had a single dragon contest this game? I'm actually trying to think back. I'm pretty sure they've all just been gimmies.
You're right. I was trying to think back myself. I actually think there hasn't been a single
observers
fight.
agree with me. There's just all. We don't like to fight over dragon in this series. We just let them be taken. You know, we're all about peace and love.
Yeah.
I always say, I think players, rather than fighting each other in game, should just talk it out. You know, I feel like we could get through our problems much easier.
Yeah. What about the problem of wanting to win?
Look, I'm always saying this. Okay. Yeah, I haven't thought that far ahead, I suppose.
Yeah, you are always saying that.
Maybe whoever talks better wins. Let's just turn League of Legends into debate. 5v5 with the same buffs and everything. That's cool.
So debate club basically.
Yeah, debate club with Baron buff.
Okay. All right. Well, 28 minutes in the game. AOE are in a pretty good position. There's really no debating that. Even though gold is even, which is astonishing to me when I'm really saying that out loud, considering everything that has gone on. They are still finding themselves in a really good spot. They have so much poke with the Ezreal and this full AP Kai'Sa. That's the beauty of the Ludens. Those Void Seekers are going to be doing so much damage, and as long as she hits them, you're going to keep on spamming them over and over again. It means the objective control is so good. It means the position, the ability for Breezy to find all of these angles is that much stronger. By the time FlyQuest finally walk in, they usually end up losing a good chunk of their health.
Who's going to walk into whom is the question now. The Ivern can check the bushes with his own. Makai can check bushes with the sapling. The handshake between these junglers is FlyQuest set up a lot of Ivern brushes around the Baron buff. That means it's just almost impossible for AOE to tell what's going on in there.
They have to turn.
They started it up. Big True Shot barrage onto everybody.
Masu.
Big Void Seeker onto Masu. Baron in trouble. It goes down, but Lynx will claim the kill on Amasu in response. All out from Faisal gets himself out of there. Winsome's got a flash. 4 members of FlyQuest wear the Turo Baron buff, and they do escape. AOE cannot prevent them from winning the objective.
Wow, that's not bad, actually. The fact is, you trade 1 for the Baron buff. That's worth, especially to try and break the stalemate that we find ourselves in here. Props to Link. He ended up getting a lot of damage with those Void Seekers, but at the end of the day, FlyQuest, they get a big cash injection into their pockets, and once Masu gets back up, this is a 3-item Aphelios. As long as we can actually front to back on the side of FlyQuest, he's going to be outputting a lot of damage here. And speaking of damage,
ooh,
Spyrax.
A shuffle from Spyrax. Emperor's Divide knocks concept
Oh
back.
my god.
Can Spyrax live now? I think the answer is yeah. And he'll also pick up the kill there on to the Janks. 3, 1, and 2. 3-item Azir on top of the 3-item Aphelios. So FlyQuest, they're reaching this late game where their comp comes online.
Yeah, I mean, you see the True Shot barrage. Another Void Seeker comes through there, and Lynx just finds the engage time and time again. It looks like Yuji was forced away, so this Baron could have easily been stolen, but Masu manages to get that last auto in. And it's like we said before, you go 1 for 1, you secure the Baron, and the fact that you get Concept on the side lane, who is still waiting to respawn, is a great gold swing here for FlyQuest, because they're going to be knocking down these structures and continuing to push these waves into AoE's side of the map. It will allow them to have an easier time controlling AoE's jungle, because for the most part, AoE has been invading FlyQuest on repeat. This is finally them getting back at it.
FlyQuest had a rough early game this time around, but have turned it back into their favor in great fashion. They were down 1.2 thousand gold at one point in this game. They've wrestled back to a 3,000 gold lead with the help of this Baron buff, as they will start the siege onto AOE's inhibitor turret. Spyrax, I like that. Set up the soldier behind you so that you have a quicker escape path. AOE are getting kind of pulled around the map right now. They don't know where they want to commit to. They don't know which lane exactly they need to hold the line at. But FlyQuest have not necessarily crashed everything together. As I say that, though, the bot lane and the top lane will crash at the same time. Concept looks to jump in on the Spyrax, cannot claim engage on Azir, so that is an inhibitor turret down.
And you can see it. Quick engage, Concept loses a chunk of his health. He doesn't want any part of that, but just in one fell swoop with this Baron buff, these last couple of minutes, FlyQuest have amassed a 3,500 gold lead, and they've gotten all these waves pushed into AOE's side. This is AOE Soul, so if Breezy finds an angle, if Will finds the steal, AOE are right back in the driver's seat.
AOE want to get this one. They'll teleport all their members to the fight. We're going to have a 5v5. Spyrax going for a deep teleport flank, by the way. Breezy's running in, trying to get onto the dragon. It's reset now. Will's far away. Link's walking forward. Darkwing's with the damage. Masu could be in trouble. Yuji's actually the one almost bursted down as Masu looks to Link's. Engage from Breezy, misses. Masu and everyone are trying to kite back right now. Spyrax goes deep in and actually gets a double kill!
Oh, Masu!
He survives through it all! Concept will claim his prize. Trying to get onto Masu now. Ooh. All out was saved by Faisal. He's had it the whole time. That's an ace for FlyQuest. A double kill to Masu and Spyrax. The carry's getting fed. And they're not even going to go for the dragon. They're going to go for the end of the game.
Well, that was a close one, Kangas, but it's as you said, Spyrax and Masu going clutch in their respective skirmishes, and they got all they need to close things out. It may not have been the cleanest, but they managed to close, and you'll see it here. Masu getting shielding, healing. The support Ivern build is ridiculous, and you can see it. Spyrax forced to stopwatch on low health. Masu will get the opportunity from Winsome to flash the wall and get that Infernum damage through. Ooh. When it came to it, game's not over. FlyQuest, they'll still be able to claim another Drake.
FlyQuest were not able to end the game off of the push, and you say the Drake. I don't know if they can guarantee it anymore.
Oh,
I mean,
teleport,
Yuji's back up, a teleport coming in. This actually could have been a punt from FlyQuest. Concept teleports in. Spyrax is in a lot of trouble. He's going to go down. Yeah, shutdown for Will. They claim the Azir. They can win the team fight at Dragon now, and this is AOE's Dragon Soul. So FlyQuest, they looked for the game end. They did not have enough gas in the tank to find it. And now AOE are back on the map with Dragon Soul.
This could be a pretty big problem. We saw in that last fight an example of how long these skirmishes go. And the Ocean Soul, along with 3 Ocean Drakes, there's a lot of missing health healing going at all times, will benefit AOE in these long extended team fights. So FlyQuest find themselves in a really difficult position, even though the Baron play was good, even though the team fight around the Drake was good as well. Trying to go for the end game ends up costing them big time.
Question now comes, what do you value more? The 4,500 gold lead or the Dragon Soul at this stage of the game? All items completed, or not all items, but you know, many items completed on the carries.
A lot of items.
The carries on both sides. I would take the Dragon Soul personally. I feel like AOE are actually still in this game, despite that feeling like the end of the game for FlyQuest. If AOE get a better team fight like you were just highlighting there, they could still close this day out with a win.
Yeah, I will say, I think the gold lead really helps even things out a little bit, but FlyQuest are still very strong. We saw the GA just built for Masu. They have a lot of damage. They just want to rush this Baron. It's gone.
Will can't get into there. The Baron is gone. Now we need the fight.
Gone.
Breezy in trouble. He's focused down. Two-shot barrage slows many members, but does not do a lot of damage. Will goes back in, fancies himself the fight, but the team was not behind him, and Will is down. FlyQuest hold the line. The Ivern Shield's putting in work as Masu's feeling empowered to walk forward. Magnetstorm is in, and they even stop Concept from jumping on the 80 carry. Masu's still alive, unleashing in the fight with a triple kill, and that'll do it. FlyQuest Challengers with the Turo Baron buff and a team fight win will 2-0 AOE and join the upper echelon, tied for second place at the end of day 1 for week 5.
And it was a little tough, it was a little shaky, but this is the FlyQuest we were hoping to see. They will slam down AOE and tie themselves up for second place in the standings, Kangas. It took a while, but FlyQuest got it done.
Solid stuff from FlyQuest in the second half of that game. There were a few moments where we were holding our breath, especially with how the early laning phase was going. But a dub is a dub. They will take that. And looking at the damage charts, that is a lot of 80 carry damage in this game. Whew.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, we got to shout out Spyrax for putting out a lot of damage on his own.
Yeah.
Only 2,000 behind both of these 80 carries in the game. He was doing his fair share.
Shout out to Rel for out damaging the jungler.
It's Ivern, support build. It's okay.
Hey, no, there's no excuse. Daisy does damage, okay? Daisy does work.
Yeah, but Daisy got nerfed, remember?
Daisy got nerfed. Acceptable.
There it is. We got him, everyone.
All right, fair enough. Well, either way, FlyQuest and FlyQuest fans will be celebrating that 2-0. A tightly fought one, though, but they are still up, tied for second in the standings. We're going to send it to a short break before Magical is back with an interview of one of the victorious members of FlyQuest before we close out the day.
The LCS Challengers League is brought to you by Turo, the world's largest car-sharing marketplace. Find your drive.
Hello, hello, and welcome back. We're here for the Verizon post-game interview. I'm joined in by the ADC of FlyQuest Challengers, Masu. Masu, congratulations on the 2-0. Before I ask any other more important questions, how does it feel to get the 2-0?
It was a pretty scrappy one, so we're happy that we won, but we're not too happy the way we won. So
what do you mean by it? You're not? I mean, it's a 2-0. You gotta be. Sure, yeah, it's messy, but you guys still won, right?
Yeah, we still won, so it's nice.
Exactly, and we were kind of joking a little bit off, before getting onto the screen about playing against Faisal and then with Faisal, and looking at his Cassante especially. So, how does it feel like having played against him in the spring to now have him on your team?
It feels really good because I feel he has some kind of understanding, like on tanks or even like Cassante, like bruisers. He can make space really well, and he knows which times to target and when to push off the enemies. So it feels a lot nicer having him on our side than having to go against him. So it feels good.
Yeah, I could imagine so. And I kind of want to talk about you. You came into this year in 2023 as like the super hyped up rookie, right? Where we were all looking at you. You were the top performer. But now we have a league that has kind of shrunk a little bit in the pool just with how everything worked in the off season. So how do you feel like your development has been through 2023? Do you feel like you're still living up to that mentality that everyone was putting you on in spring?
I feel like people were hyping me up a lot because I did like flashy plays, and I think personally, like, I expected a bit more growth from myself, like during this split and last split, but it's been fine enough, and I think I've matched, I guess, the community's expectations, even though I try not to focus too much on that. Generally, I do want to show more growth by the end of the split, because so far I think my team aspect of the game has gone a lot better, but I think because I focus so much on the team aspect, I'm slowly losing focus on the other things.
So in your mind, for you to have gotten to the stage where you feel confident like in your play, where would you have to be by the end of playoffs?
Oh, I'm already confident in my play in like NACL, but I'm trying to reach a level where I'd be comfortable in higher leagues.
Okay. So speaking of LCS, I'm assuming, right? Yeah. So now let's kind of speculate that, right? Looking at the LCS, where do you think at the moment you would place yourself among marksmen in the LCS?
It's hard to do without sounding like maybe like top 6.
Hey, that's still good. I know. Hey, I think I can imagine that. I think you still have some room to grow too, and that like you were talking about, like as long as you continue on that trajectory, that maybe by the end of playoffs we could be talking about you as like a top 3 prospect going into next year for marksman. So I think that's something that you can definitely strive to. And let's kind of look at how FlyQuest Challengers is as a team right now. You guys are sitting tied for second 3 ways with Wildcard and Disguised. Okay. Is this kind of the placement you expected to be at this point in the season?
I think our collective expectation was to be tied with like Team Liquid. So we're a bit under what we expected, but at the same time we know how like inconsistent we still are, and I think we know once we find a better like identity or we're on the same page more often, then we can match that expectation.
That's fair. I mean, playoffs are right around the corner, so how confident do you feel right now if playoffs were to start with your team?
Pretty confident against every team, I'd say.
Okay, even Team Liquid?
Yeah, we'd be fine, I think.
All right, well, before I let you go, any shout-outs you'd like to give to any family, friends out there?
Yeah, thanks to my family and friends who are watching, and thanks to our coaches and staff. That's it.
All right, well, thank you, Masu. It was great having you on for the interview. I'm going to bring back Kangas and Beatdown so we can round out the show. It was a fun day of games. Day 1 of Week 5. That means we're getting that much closer. There's only 5 more days that are left for the season before we hit playoffs. That is so unbelievably fast. And when we look at the standings, we can kind of see how everyone is starting to spell out at the moment. I already kind of hinted at it. The 3-way tie. We're second place with DSG, with FlyQuest Challengers, and Wildcard all tied. But then kind of looking at the bottom half, we were talking about AOE and how they kind of need to pick up these wins because they're only separated by 1 game from that promotion tournament that the bottom 2 teams have to suffer.
Now, a reminder that their schedule does get easier, so if you're an AOE fan, do not worry. You have MU and Taco for the rest of this week, and then for the final week, it's not that much harder. I mean, you have Fear and Team Liquid, which are tough, but you also have Supernova. So you're playing against the 2 teams below you. Your destiny is in your control. If you just beat them, you should be able to just make it in right away, unless Supernova Taco can get some big upsets.
Something I want to add real quick that I found interesting. When last week ended, TLC was the only team ahead of the person below them by more than 1 game. 2 to 9, any differences was literally a single game. But actually now, not only is there a 3-way tie for second, DSG, FlyC, and Wildcard are actually 2 games ahead of Cincinnati Fear, who are technically third with how ties go and how you say those things. So we're starting to see some breakups in the standings, some space being created a little bit.
EG are jumping up, though. I'm just realizing now they took out that 2-0 then.
Yes, they did.
In their series. So, I mean, EG might be back. They got Serdian. That's pretty big.
Maybe. We'll see, because looking at that, look at that. 6 through 10 are all separated by 2 games. That means there are only 2 games that can separate a team that is in 6th place at being Maryville and Evil Geniuses Challengers from that promotion tournament we were highlighting before. That is going to be a very close race at the bottom to avoid that possibility to get into playoffs and make sure they don't have to possibly fight for that spot to remain in the Challengers League in the first place, Pete.
Right, and really, like, the last 2 is also the most interesting part there. I mean, talking about the strength of schedule going towards the end of the split, I still think, actually, I kind of feel for Team Fish Taco. They have the hardest schedule left because they still have both TLC and FlyC in the next, between this weekend and next.
Yep, and EGC, if we are believing that EGC is back and that things are starting to click, that's going to be a tough one for them as well. So, pour your tacos out. Pour one out for Taco. I don't know how I want to word that one. Yeah.
Pour your taco sauce out. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
That's better. There we go. I like that better, Beep.
Are you like a hot sauce guy, or are you like a mild hot sauce?
I'm a hot sauce guy.
Hot sauce, that's good.
It depends on my mood, honestly. Like, some days I want spicy food, sometimes I don't, you know?
Fair enough.
All I gotta say is look at the color of my skin. You think I can't do spicy food, bro? Come on. How dare you?
Hey, I'm not putting out any allegation. I was asking you an opinion.
I mean, okay. Whatever you like, it doesn't matter. Because right now we're looking at how the Challengers League is, and we've rounded out another day of play for today. A lot of exciting games, a lot of 2-0s again, and I think actually with the 2-0s that we had a 1-1 on the other screen. We had a 1-1 here, so that's 3 2-0s for our first day, which is a lot, actually.
Wow.
We've been getting a lot more 1-1 splits, kind of a mixed bag of everything. But having that as the first day of week 5, and before we go, do want to give a shout out to Turo, our lovely sponsor here for the Challengers League. The Challengers League is brought to you by Turo, the world's largest car sharing marketplace where you can book any car you want for just about any occasion. Forget about boring car rentals at Turo.com. Go there and get an awesome car rental. And for everybody else, thank you so much for joining us for yet another exciting day of Challengers League. We'll be back tomorrow for more gameplay. For now, we're going to go raid Amelia cosplay, so go give some love there from everybody. Spam some emotes in the chat
tell her
as
happy
well.
birthday.
Oh, I didn't know that. It's
Birthday?
her birthday as
Happy
well.
birthday, Amelia!
Oh, happy birthday. All right, peace out, everybody.